an antique store clerk. Emily, haunted by cryptic whispers, uncovers a cursed inventory list that unleashes a night of unimaginable terror. Dim moonlight bathes the dusty shelves of curiosities and oddities, an antique store filled with relics whispering forgotten secrets. Emily, a pale girl with inquisitive eyes, polishes a tarnished pocket watch, its rhythmic tick resonating in the eerie silence. Night shifts at Curiosities were a symphony of shadows and whispers. For Emily, it wasn't a job, it was an investigation into the past, each object a fragment of a forgotten story. This night, however, a new chill permeated the air, a tingling sensation on the back of her neck that danced with the flickering of the gaslight. As Emily begins her inventory, strange whispers seem to emanate from the objects themselves. An ancient amulet hums with a cold energy, a porcelain doll's eyes follow her every move, and a dusty tome emits a faint glow. As she meticulously counted porcelain figurines and tarnished silverware, Emily started hearing whispers. Murmurs like cobwebs, brushing against her ears, impossible to decipher yet sending shivers down her spine. They seemed to emanate from every corner, from the chipped busts of forgotten heroes to the moth-eaten tapestries depicting grotesque scenes. Driven by a morbid curiosity, Emily found the source, a leather-bound tome tucked away on a dusty shelf. Its cover etched with arcane symbols, it hummed with an unearthly energy. Inside, a yellowed paper held a single phrase scrawled in elegant script, the inventory of forgotten souls. Compelled by the forbidden knowledge, Emily begins reading the list aloud. Each name pronounced unleashes a chilling effect. A clock stops dead, a painting cracks, and a cold wind sweeps through the store. With each name on the list she uttered, the whispers grew louder, morphing into anguished cries and chilling laughter. The objects around her contorted, shadows twisting into macabre figures. A grotesque mannequin twitched, its porcelain fingers brushing against the glass case. Panic seized Emily. The inventory wasn't just a list of names. It was a conduit, releasing something long trapped within the confines of the store. The whispering voices became accusations, accusing her of disturbing their eternal slumber. The store transforms into a nightmarish labyrinth. Shadows become monsters, objects lash out, and the whispers culminate into a deafening symphony of terror. Curiosities became a labyrinth of shadows. The shelves stretched infinitely. Doors led to nowhere, and the gaslights flickered wildly, casting grotesque silhouettes on the walls. The whispering reached a crescendo, a symphony of tormented souls clawing at the darkness. Their accusations drowning out her panicked screams, Emily stumbled through the chaos, desperately searching for escape. The tome, now pulsating with malevolent energy, weighed heavy in her hand. She knew the only way to end this infernal night was to complete the inventory, to bind the restless souls back to their forgotten corners. With trembling hands and tears streaming down her face, Emily finishes the list, uttering the final name. A deafening silence engulfs the store, followed by a sigh of relief that seems to emanate from every object. As the final name echoed through the store, the shadows retracted, the objects returned to their places, and the whispers quieted. Dawn peeked through the dusty windows, bathing the store in a pale light. Emily collapsed onto the floor, the tome falling from her trembling grip. She had survived the night of the inventory, but the experience had etched itself onto her soul, a chilling reminder of the secrets hidden within the seemingly ordinary objects of the past. The next morning, Emily opens the store, the shelves filled with forgotten relics. But she sees them differently now, as whispers trapped in time, waiting to be heard. Whether she'll dare to delve deeper into their secrets remains to be seen. A cheerful employee, Maya, finds her midnight shift at a vintage arcade turning sinister as the dormant games awaken, their flickering screens revealing unsettling secrets. Neon lights illuminate the dusty lanes of Flashback Arcade, a relic of the 80s nestled in a forgotten corner of the city. Mia, a bubbly college student with pigtails and infectious laughter, flips open the shop, relishing the solitude and retro charm. For Mia, nights at Flashback weren't just about refilling pinballs and dusting pixelated cabinets. They were a time warp, a vibrant oasis of forgotten joys, echoing with the blips and bloops of a simpler era. Tonight, however, the arcade hummed with a different energy, a prickling unease beneath the cheerful neon glow. As the clock strikes midnight, the arcade's usual silence is broken by the hum of static and flickering screens. Pixelated figures on old CRTs seem to twitch and shift, their expressions morphing from joy to unsettling grins. The clock struck 12, and the familiar rhythm of the arcade morphed into something unsettling. The static hum grew louder, like whispers on an old radio, and the pixelated faces on the screens began to change. The Pac-Man ghosts, once goofy pursuers, now stared with empty black eyes and stretched smiles. Sonic, the blue blur, became a contorted nightmare, his grin a jagged tear across his cartoon face. Mia, fueled by a morbid curiosity, approached the flickering monitors. The static hissed in her ears, whispering, forgotten, play us. An urge to appease the Digita's ghosts gripped her, their unnatural grins beckoning her like sirens. Mia hesitates, then succumbs to the urge. She throws coins into the dusty slots, and the dormant games spring to life with a burst of static and distorted music. But the gameplay is twisted, the enemies relentless, and the pixelated smiles seem to mock her every move. One by one, Mia coaxed the old games back to life. Tetris blocks rained down at impossible speeds, Space Invaders pulsed with an ominous red glow, and Donkey Kong's laughter echoed through the arcade, devoid of its familiar charm. With every button press, the arcade grew colder, the shadows deeper, and the pixelated smiles widened, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Panic bloomed in Mia's chest, but there was no turning back. The games, awakened from their slumber, demanded not just playing, but completion. And with each level cleared, the whispers grew louder, the distorted music intensifying, and the smiles on the screens becoming impossibly real. Desperate to escape, Maya tries to power down the arcade, but the machines resist. Their pixelated figures reach out from the screens, claws of static threatening to consume her. The arcade becomes a surreal battleground, the only weapons her wits and the fading glow of the neon lights. Trapped in a digital maelstrom, Mia fought for her life. She tricked ghosts, dodged pixelated bullets, and outsmarted digital foes, all while the arcade bled into reality, the blinking lights sending searing flashes across the cracked floor. Finally, just as the darkness threatened to engulf her, she reached the master control panel. With a shaking hand, she pulled the lever, plunging the arcade into a sudden, suffocating silence. Mia stumbles out of the arcade, dawn painting the sky a pale lavender. The machines slumber once more, their screens dark, their smiles frozen in a chilling grimace. But the experience has forever marked her, a reminder that even the most innocent joys can hide a darkness waiting to be awakened. Sarah, a museum security guard, discovers a hidden room containing a tapestry woven with bone, unleashing a cascade of whispers and horrifying visions that blur the lines between reality and illusion. The cavernous halls of the Museum of Antiquities echo with the soft thrum of fluorescent lights. Sarah, a bookish history student clad in a mustard-colored security uniform, walks her lonely patrol, the silence punctuated only by the rhythmic click of her boots on the polished marble floor. The night shift at the museum wasn't just a way to pay the bills for Sarah. It was an immersion in history, each ancient artifact whispering forgotten tales to those willing to listen. Tonight, however, a new chapter felt poised to unfold, a chilling premonition clinging to the air like cobwebs. As Sarah rounds a corner, she notices a previously unseen doorway, veiled in a heavy tapestry. Curiosity piqued. She pushes it open, revealing a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with a single macabre tapestry. A grotesque scene woven from bone, curiosity battled caution, but the allure of the forbidden one. Sarah stepped into the chamber, the air thick with an unsettling dampness and the faint aroma of forgotten dust. Her eyes fell upon the tapestry, a chilling tableau rendered in bleached bone shards. It depicted a swirling vortex, tendrils of skeletal fingers reaching out from the abyss, their bony tips whispering silent pleas. A sudden gust of cold air ruffled the hairs on her arms, and the whispers, previously faint, surged into her mind. At first, they were indistinct murmurs like the rustling of dry leaves, but as she focused, they coalesced into chilling words. "Help us. Free us," overwhelmed by the whispered pleas. Sarah reaches out to touch the tapestry. A jolt of icy energy courses through her fingers and the world around her warps. The museum walls dissolve, replaced by the swirling vortex from the tapestry, the skeletal fingers now grasping at her, their whispers filling her mind with horrifying visions. She was plunged into a maelstrom of bone and shadow, the museum dissolving into the tapestry's grotesque reality. Skeletal monsters formed from the swirling vortex, their empty sockets burning with an eerie blue light, their bony claws reaching for her flesh. The whispers crescendoed, a chorus of tormented souls begging for release, promising unimaginable power in exchange for her cooperation. Panic seized Sarah. This wasn't history coming alive. It was a waking nightmare woven from ancient suffering. She fought against the pull of the vortex, the visions threatening to swallow her whole. Remembering her history lessons, she channeled the spirit of the museum's heroes, drawing strength from the echoes of bygone warriors and explorers. With a desperate cry, Sarah tears her hand from the tapestry, severing the connection to the bone-woven nightmare. The museum rematerializes around her, the whispers fading into an unsettling silence. The hidden chamber stands dark and empty, the grotesque tapestry a macabre reminder of the horrors she just glimpsed. Dawn bathed the museum in a hesitant light as Sarah stumbled out, shaken but alive. The night shift was no longer just a quiet vigil. It was a battle line between reality and the monstrous whispers trapped within the walls, and Sarah, scarred by the encounter, knew she was now the museum's keeper of a terrifying secret, forever bound to the echoes of the bone-woven nightmare. Subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed the story. Share your own unsettling encounters with ancient artifacts in the comments.